Hi empaths, welcome back to my channel and back to Journey Through the Tarot. We're talking about our week with the Page of Pentacles and introducing the history, symbolism, and divination of the Knight of Pentacles. This journey was inspired by Dirty and Divine, a transformative journey through tarot by Alice B. Grist. She spent a day with each card. We're spending a week. We're getting a lot of our information from one of my tarot teachers, Robert M. Place, and his book, The Tarot History, Symbolism, and Divination. And working with the Waite-Smith symbolism of the Rider Tarot deck. Looks like this. If you need any of those items, they're available in my Amazon store, linked in the description of the video. So let's talk about our week with the Page. And the Page is a new idea, right, that is likely to prosper, right? A young, maybe a mature person that wants to grow, and looking at the pentacle, valuing something, holding something up. If you'll recall from last time, some of the things that we shared: innocence and excitement of a new material abundant idea. Application, study, scholarship, reflection, messages, the bringer thereof, also rule management, new energy, inspiration point, and a lot more, right? Wishing to create and harvest something the world is not quite ready for, perhaps discouraged from the past, but the soul is ready for venture and adventure, ready to grow from his loins, from her womb, from the abilities that he, if nobody else, has total faith in. So this was a really packed week. It was really full, long work days, and then classes in between, and then a full day of training on one of my days off. And now my days off, of course, are not together, so it's hard to feel fully rested. And I've been getting up early to exercise because I'm finding that that gives me energy for the rest of the day. If I don't do that, I suffer. So I'm just trying to promote as much well-being as possible without feeling overwhelmed or too much stress. I'm trying to de-stress, and I have been feeling a little bit sort of overwhelmed by the needs of everyone else, and feeling like my own haven't been getting met. So I've been focusing on that this week, and trying to get really clear about what I want to do moving forward, what I want to offer, how I want to craft my work, either through sessions or a program or whatever it is. Definitely reflecting on that. And today this week in the training I had with my mentor, the practitioner development training, and learning the radiant human meditation, with my mentor, Shelley Poovey. It's a great group of people. I feel really blessed to be part of it. We learned another piece of the work, and we learned a lot of the science that backs it up, and that was really inspiring. And doing the work, leading each other, right? Doing practice sessions and practice work. And it hit me during the work during one of the practice sessions, that I could use the sound healing instruments I have and maybe use sound, like physical frequency of the sound during the meditation, and sort of bring in that element of synesthesia where people inhale, use the sound to vibrate the system, and So that was really inspiring to me. And I felt like the things I shared and my questions, and like I asked if that was like, if that idea felt like resonant, like that was something that might be a good idea. And she like lit up around that, and it was exciting. And then I felt like it animated the whole group, and then everyone was excited to share something. And so I felt like, wow, that idea has energy around it, right? It has momentum. So I was excited about that. And that was like a new idea. And like with the page talking about new ideas that could prosper, you know, bringing in my skills as a musician along with healing and transformation and sound work. I've also more ideas came in about archetype work, and that came in with one of my sessions this week with a client. Working with archetype, and within the chakra, it was incredible. It's incredible how the work shows me what it wants to do, and that was really powerful to see that happening, and being a part of it. I mean, I definitely feel like I'm part of it and I'm participating. But ever since I started as a healer, a person's system shows me what to do. It's really amazing. And it's not that I made that up. I mean, those ideas came from my work with other people and my studies with other teachers. But just to see someone's system like working and operating that way, and that it actually works, you know, in that alchemical process, is really mind-blowing sometimes. And seeing how, and hearing the updates and how it actually is shifting the material world and magnetizing new things. And that's how I know that's the direction I want to go in. And I've also been focusing on my physical health and well-being this week. It just became such a priority because I was just feeling so exhausted, and but also fulfilled in a lot of ways, because I was learning and developing myself and my skills, which always fulfills me, always makes me feel filled up. Connecting with other people that are on a similar path and have similar questions and resonate with the same ideas and concepts as me, and can appreciate my personal spin on things and my ideas, even if they seem a little out there, even if they seem a little immature and not fleshed out yet. I was just talking to a friend today, my podcast co-host. We were talking today and thinking about new ideas for episodes, but also just talking about the creative process and how it's the same thing as the manifestation process, and actualizing something, you know, taking a vision or an idea and bringing it into the real world, into the material plane, and how that happens in the process. And I was asking her about something that she had done recently, or maybe last summer actually. That was a long time. That was longer than I actually thought it was. Oh, it was like 4th of July. Yeah, so that was last year. Time really flew. Wow. I was asking her about her process in that, and how long it took her to actually put that up and create that little backyard concert and get the set list together. And she was like, just in a couple hours, it was like I set it up and I did it. And I was saying, oh wow. And we were kind of picking apart that process of when something starts as a vision, what is her process for materializing it? How does that happen for her? And she never considered that was a creative process. Like, she always thought she kind of had a creative block, but she only counts like songwriting, or there's only certain things she counts as being creative. And I was like, well, you putting on that concert was a creative process. It was manifestation. So it was an idea first. It just maybe actualized really effortlessly and quickly. And so the process can be that way for you. And maybe we could reverse engineer that, right? Or we don't have to reverse engineer necessarily. We could just work with a new intention, a new vision, a new idea, and see how it wants to come into fruition. And I think she is an earth sign. I think she's Capricorn. They're really good at those practical steps, which are also necessary. She doesn't let her emotions or a mood prevent her from getting something done. I'm sure she's human. I'm sure she does sometimes, but I noticed that that's something for me. If it doesn't feel right, I don't move forward. I wait until I have some certainty. I wait for my emotional process to sort of catch up with me. So for me, the creative process and the manifestation process is slightly different. I'm sort of feeling my way through before I can make a commitment or decision, because I'm an emotional person and I have emotional authority. So I sort of have to wait for a high and a low to give me a clarity around, or a cycle or a season, right? To give me clarity about how I'm going to move forward. And once that's clear for me, nothing will stop me. But it's getting that clarity internally and really figuring it out. And not allowing the saboteurs or the crazy makers, as Julia Cameron would call people, the crazy makers, the saboteurs, or the nitpickers and the doubters, right, that would just pull apart your idea, right, when it's too immature to even analyze yet. You analyze it all away, right, when it's still this vision, this idea, this ideal, this dream. Not sharing it with people that will pick it apart or make you doubt yourself. Keeping it to yourself, and maybe sharing with trusted people that are encouragers and they're growing and developing themselves, to help sort of fertilize the soil, So I haven't always done that. I haven't always protected those really fragile, they're not ready, they're not ripe to be shared ideas and visions. I think the worst is when it just falls to when you share something with somebody and it's just there's the feeling in the air that that they think it's crazy, or that that you're delusional. They don't even need to say it. That's probably the worst thing, but because then it feels like, well, they don't even respect me enough to share an opinion. So I've definitely learned that lesson, and over again, and learning more discernment around that too. So that definitely came up this week. I think it was this week. I'm not sure if it was last week, but my favorite supervisor at work was telling me, I'm not sure if I shared this last week, but so if I watch this one day back, I want to remember, he was just really validating my skills and my abilities at work and the job I do. And that felt really great. He even said, if this was my business, I'd have you in a different role. So saying that as a comfort, and I did take it as a comforting thing. Sometimes people will say things like that, and I know it's just to butter me up, in lieu of paying me more, or right, like instead of giving me a monetary reward for a job well done, the encouragement needs to be enough. But I do think if you're making more money for the company, you should make more money as an employee, but not everyone has that idea. So just feeling like that acknowledgement was really validating, and I haven't often had that at work where there's acknowledgement. So that's definitely something I'm happy about. Like, I definitely feel like I need that. So it's supportive. It helps me keep going in a job that's difficult for my temperament. It's definitely meeting a lot of people's needs who aren't necessarily very happy, and just putting up with it. And I think anyone who's done customer service knows what that feels like and what that's like, and just always showing up for other people. And your feelings need to just kind of take the back burner. And for an emotionally sensitive person, it's so challenging. There have definitely been times where I was going through something difficult that I was trying to process, and I just couldn't do it because, of the nature of the job and needing to be present for other people and not being in my own process. That's been very challenging. I know at other jobs it's been like that, where it's sort of like a performance. You can't really be in your real feelings. You're out there, and I've usually been, the places I've worked, I'm usually they want me to be one of the faces of the company, right, out talking to the people, greeting customers, being, visible. So you can't really always be feeling what exactly you're feeling in that moment. Sometimes you have to do things to, and that's the benefit of working from home right now. Like, I can do priming exercises, right? I can do whatever movement I need to do and not be seen, like priming myself, self-massage, little exercises between calls, and that autonomy and that privacy is really important for me. I'm noticing, like, I do really well when I can take care of myself that way with movement and not feel weird about it. Like doing some of Tony Robbins' priming exercises and breath work really helps me, because I do have a down-regulated nervous system, and I feel like I need to be more energized to get through the workday and feel cheerful and friendly and answer calls with a smile. Otherwise, I feel so tired and drained, and I can't brush off the last person, or let go of the resentment that was created, So I have been noticing how valuable that is for me. And that's something that maybe I didn't acknowledge before. So it's something I do value. Is there are times where I want to be seen, right? Like making a video series or putting myself out there in other ways like that. But I think there are definitely times where I just want that privacy, and that's what's going to be supportive for me. So it's just interesting noticing that. And really seeing what works for me. And that was one thing, programming a vortex for manifestation and working with that, you know, manifesting this or something better. Because what I think I want, I might think I want a career on the stage or being a famous actress or famous musician or singer. But would that lifestyle really be the best fit for my mood, my moodiness, for my wellness? Probably not. So, but maybe it would. Like, you don't know, so that's why you program what you think will achieve the resonant match and anchor that with, you know, you imagine that because that's giving you the feeling that you want, and then you use that feeling to manifest, right? So will it produce this outcome, this frequency, the way I'm feeling now, or will something else do that? So this or something better, right? Something that's a more resonant match for what I'm feeling, what I want what I want my experience to feel like. So I noticed these past couple of days, nostalgic feelings coming up that I hadn't felt in a very long time. I was getting in touch with memories from childhood, right? From when I was just a page myself, or I guess in some suits it's a princess, but thinking about like my childhood dreams and visions of what it would be like to be an adult, and how it hasn't really added up to that in so many ways. But just watching different videos on YouTube and seeing people interact and thinking that I did have that for a time. Friends I really connected with, people that were artists as well, and just having that every day. I mean, that was a lot. I mean, it was so much. I mean, you can imagine being around performers all the time. It was a lot, but just having other people that understand you and think the same things in the world are funny, or value the same things, or take, you know, have the same amount of empathy for other people, the same sensitivity levels, you know, or can at least understand. So, and I think I found that when I found the arts first. I found those connections, those soulmates, people that you didn't have to explain yourself to, you know. We're all kind of looking for that, like a community of people I don't have to explain myself to. That's artists. That's where I feel that fit. I don't necessarily feel that in the spiritual community that much. I feel like it's just, there's so many different kinds of people that make that community up. But I do have some people that I feel very close to. Maybe don't talk to every day, but I definitely feel the most connected to other artists. And maybe not every artist, maybe just that are more similar to me, maybe. I don't know. But that's the community I felt like, wow, I fit, you know, for the first time. Because I had done other things like athletics, like I was a basketball player first, and then I did dance, but I didn't really fit with dancers either. So when I got into theater, I think it was theater, that's where it was like, oh, okay, this is where I belong. So I'm not sure what got me into that. Oh, because I was feeling those nostalgic feelings of like what I wanted to manifest as a child, what I imagined my life would feel like, what relationships would feel like. And I started getting back in touch with some of those feelings and sensations internally. Like I felt them so strongly. Like, have you ever had that experience where you smell something and it brings back a flood of memories, right? Because that sense is so connected and linked to memory. It's the same part of the brain, right? The perceived scent that stores long-term memory. So I was having like memories from childhood popping up this week. And I have been having that experience quite frequently lately. When I'm like just waking up in the morning, I'll have a flood of like visions of those times, and I'll see it very clearly. And I was just remembering times of, you know, so much togetherness, and when family was all together, and some traumatizing memories, but also some just warm and cozy and comforting. And I couldn't quite recall if those feelings were actual feelings I was experiencing at the time, or if they were what I was longing for and imagining, right? Which was interesting because that's often true for me with like dreams and memories and thoughts that maybe like it was a daydream I had. Sometimes that overlaps for me. I forget if that was a real memory or if I had a vision about that or a dream. Sometimes it overlaps for me, and I can't discern which one it is from childhood, right? A long time ago, not like recently. But so thinking about that, I was thinking, I wonder if I've actually had those feelings in real life, or if it was only like when I was longing for something in the future, which of course pushes it away. But getting back in touch with those feelings, I'm definitely going to use them to manifest and put them into the vortex, because it was like a really comforting feeling. And knowing that I have had those feelings in life, like where I found someone I really connected with and it felt like playtime all day long. Just life was just so much fun. So many inside jokes and like same sense of humor. It's so magical when you find someone like that. And I have a few people like that in my life. So that's a lot more than many. So I do feel very lucky about that. And I would love to create a life where that's how it is most of the time. And, you know, thinking about getting off work, and that's when real life begins, right? And right now I just get so focused on work and learning and planning, like reading and just researching. Like I know that I'm in the process of really refining something right now that needs a lot of my attention. So I've definitely put other things that would make life fulfilling on the back burner. And I'd like to just cut out anything that's not really providing results, that it's just sort of unnecessary and sort of a waste of time maybe, and really narrowing, you know, my process down to what's actually producing results. And I think that's what I'm doing in this practitioner development training. That's what I'm doing with the Tarot series. You know, we're almost done. I mean, just a few more weeks here, we're talking. I also filmed a time capsule video last week, right after I filmed the Page of Pentacles week, the 10 of Pentacles week. Right after I filmed that video, I did a time capsule video of questions. I was asking questions to my future self, and you should do it. I mean, or journal about it so you can find it in the future sometime. Like you in the future, 5 years down the road, is the idea. Asking questions like, you know, did you ever achieve that goal? Or, you know, are you in the relationship that you were dreaming of, or whatever it is, right? And then date it, you know, put the date on it so that you know, like 5 years from now, I'm going to watch this and answer those questions. So that was really interesting. And I do think that's supportive in the manifestation work too. Like, Connecting with future self. I do that a lot in coaching and session work too. So, you know, we might call that in hypnosis the wise advocate, right? But it's really a part of your subconscious, that is kind of timeless, limitless. So connecting with your future self. I actually did that meditation with my best friend for the first time. I was practicing like years ago when we both lived in New York, and he's one of the people I was thinking about, like where you find someone and it's just like immediately you're laughing at the same things. Immediately, the world's a little brighter, So finding more connections like that, I think, is really important. But I definitely felt like this week more ideas were coming together, things were solidifying. I was getting more clarity. We also full moon in Sagittarius, experiencing that this week, right at the end of the Page of Pentacles week. That full moon in Sag, really allowing the forces of nature to carry us, right, and not resisting. That was one of my intentions, and also releasing any ideas or false narratives or beliefs around what I need to be doing to find success and health and wealth and wellness, and really getting clear and aligned to what's right for me and my business, my practices. So those were two of my intentions for the full moon in Sagittarius. And it was just a busy week. This was my only day off, and I had to pack everything else that I needed to do in this one day. So, including filming this. So I'm filming really late, but I already had a full day. But that was basically my week with the Page of Pentacles. It was packed, but it was full of bright ideas. Exciting new beginnings. It doesn't feel like anything's really fleshed out yet, but that's my creative process. It sort of pops up in my subconscious, and it will snowball and grow until it's ready to be actualized or worth actualizing. So sometimes ideas will kind of just dissipate, and then some will really accumulate and grow. Like this Tarot series was an idea, right? That like over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I had the idea, and it just became such a force that I couldn't ignore it. I just had to go for it. And then build momentum until now we're almost done. So that was my week with the Page. Let me know about your week with the Page of Pentacles in the comments. And let's move on to the Knight. So looking at Robert M. Place's meaning for the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight sits astride a black horse in the midst of fertile plowed fields. He has oak leaves, sacred to the Druids and to the classical god Jupiter, for the crest on his helmet and on his horse's head. The Knight holds out a pentacle as if looking for a place to plant it. This card represents investment and the search for a new job or means of livelihood. And then what might it mean if this card shows up in a spread for divinatory purposes? Movement and action, ready to move forward and taking off or somewhere. Slowest moving Knight. Horse is standing still, thoughtful, methodical, analytical, overthinking. Progress toward movement, but at a snail's pace. He rides a slow, enduring, heavy horse to which his own aspect corresponds. Meaning is utility, serviceableness, interest, rectitude, responsibility. Get earthy and grounded. This is Alice B. Grist's intuitive meaning. Get earthy and grounded in your desires. Plant your seeds and commit yourself to their growth. At the same time, take life lightly, be jolly, and be fun. Know when it is time to rest, time to work, and time to play. Expect abundance and then get on with life. Don't stand around staring at your life expecting it to grow. Do what needs doing and move on. Trust that change has a way of bringing itself about without your interference. The Knight is a fruitful, youthful representation of the male. He is a very gritty and real character. Think of the young men you see leaving school, seeking abundance, striding out to their first jobs. There is a willingness to provide, even if in their first instance, just for themselves. Herein, there is a natural balance. They work, they play, they work again. This is the energy of youth channeled into creation. It is the energy of creation for creation's sake and before responsibility. Family, mortgages, etc. kick in. And what does Bridget have to say? The Biddy Tarot. Hard work, productivity, routine, conservatism. The Knight of Pentacles, like the Knights of the other suits, represents work, effort, and the responsibility that follows upon the dreams and ideals of the page. The Knight is the most hardworking, methodical, and detail-oriented character of the tarot deck. He may not be the most inspiring or creative knight, but he'll do the work to get the results he seeks, even if that work is highly repetitive or routine. When this card appears in a tarot reading, you are working methodically towards your goals. You have a plan in place and are sticking to your schedule to get the job done. You may not work particularly quickly, but you're consistent, dedicated, and committed to your goal. Put one foot in front of the other and finish the job. This card also asks you to continue doing what you are doing, plodding along and making gradual progress. No need to change your approach. Go with the flow, stick to your usual routines, and over time you will achieve your goals. The Knight of Pentacles shows that you are a natural planner and implementer. You envision your goal, determine the best course of action, and then stick to your path with a methodical and relentless focus. When you are in implementation mode, the job will get done, even if it requires hard work along the way. Meticulous in your approach, you make sure that everything is planned and executed down to the tiniest detail, and you will never leave a job half done. It is essential to you that you complete all assigned tasks and projects to a certain standard, and that you follow through on your promises. Sometimes the Knight of Pentacles points to the more mundane or boring aspects of life. The daily grind, repetitive schedules, household chores, and other responsibilities and obligations. You may be assigned a project or given a task to do, and you will have to commit your time to see that project through to the end successfully. With the Knight of Pentacles, you will be required to accept responsibilities without any complaints or grudges. The Knight of Pentacles suggests that you are taking a moderated and conservative approach to life right now. And while you may be feeling that change is imminent, you are sticking to your tried and tested ways of doing things. You have established that you need routine and careful planning if you are to achieve your goals. It may not be necessarily an exciting period, but at least you know you're on the right path. Even if you are growing tired and want to quit, this Knight invites you to keep at it, and you will eventually see success. So that's inspiring. I almost didn't record today because I really wanted to rest, but knowing that we're on the night, just like, and we're almost finished. So I feel like the night inspired me to record the video leading to the night, because I know the night's about movement and change. And even though this is a slow moving night, I'm excited about it. All right. So let's use some sound to further integrate our week with the Page of Pentacles, and to use the sound to send out intentions to bring in synchronicities that will deepen our understanding. Synchronicities and experiences to deepen our understanding with the Knight of Pentacles. All right, you might want to close your eyes, get in touch with your breath. Beautiful. Coming back to the room in your own time. Well, thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I'm so excited that, you know, we've made so much progress and we're almost done. I can't wait to look back and sort of take notes of all the things that happened and create something that will maybe provide more structure for someone else to have the experience in. Because I sort of know in my head what I'm doing, but maybe that's not so clear for other people. So I'm excited to do that. And we're almost done. We have the Knight, then the Queen, then the King. And then I think we're done. So my mind is blown. I won't know what to do with myself. I'll find something else, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you for hanging out and liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for commenting in the description. If you want to put a horse emoji to let me know you've watched this far, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, and let me know if you have any other video ideas, if you want to connect with me through session work or find me on other social media platforms. Those links are in the description of this video. And I hope you have an amazing week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Empath.